get a fatty change in the hepatocyte. Now I want you to look at this sequel, acute infection. We can get a resolution, 15% cases only, I should say only. 85% cases we get a chronic hepatitis, and a very rare is the fulminant hepatitis. Some chronic hepatitis has a stable disease. I really don't understand what you mean by stable disease. I can explain it though, but why when you call it a stable disease, it means the patient has a chronic hepatitis but not progressive. So we can call it a chronic hepatitis only. Sometimes the chronic hepatitis can be progressive and produces cirrhosis. In that case it is progressive, we can call it a chronic active hepatitis. Chronic active hepatitis. This will produce a cirrhosis and this will produce a hepatocellular carcinoma in the future. Once again, there is a stable cirrhosis. Probably that means that the cirrhosis is there but it is not progressive. So here there are some unique terms we see here, that chronic hepatitis can be progressive and non-progressive. If it is a progressive one, we can call it a chronic active hepatitis. But always remember that if we see a patient with a chronic hepatitis, you first think of hepatitis C virus infection. This is a rule. The last one is the Delta virus. So let us quickly read it. Once again, it is RNA virus, and I would just like to say that when you study the hepatitis viruses, make sure you study what type of viruses are they. Are they RNA virus or a DNA virus? This virus is replication defective. What does it mean? It means that these virus cannot produce a replication or they cannot proliferate. So this virus alone, they cannot produce the disease. They can produce infection only when they are coated by the hepatitis B virus surface antigen. It is a very, very important point. I would like to draw the diagram so that we can understand and remember it. So here it goes. The hepatitis B virus, hepatitis D virus. This is the antigen RNA of hepatitis D virus. Now if this virus is present in the liver, so I can draw a liver here, a big huge liver in front of you. No harm, nothing may occur. But to get an infection of hepatitis D virus, we need a infection with hepatitis B virus also. Now when there is infection with hepatitis B virus, it has a surface antigen. It means hepatitis B virus surface antigen, which will now coat the hepatitis D virus antigen. So you can see there are two antigens together, and now they are Superman. They are super strong. They can cause damage to the entire liver very, very quickly, because they are Superman. We know that, Superman. And they can call it fulminant hepatitis. It's very difficult to write here. I'm practicing though, so very sorry for this peculiar handwritings. So you have to understand this point now. So hepatitis D virus is replication defective. It cannot cause disease by itself. it needs a disease or infection of hepatitis B virus at the same time, or maybe a different time. We'll discuss it. And once it is having the surface antigen around it, then it can be super strong and produce a fulminant hepatitis. It is more common in the drug addict and the hemophiliac, who should get lots of blood for survival. Now let us see one picture once again. Here is a man. And this is another person. Now this person is this particular person is a drug addict. So now he gets the needle and these infections. He gets 2 infections simultaneously that comes with the blood. Hepatitis B virus. He also get hepatitis D virus through the blood, since he is using the drug. Now you see that these 2 infections the patient is getting simultaneously at the same time. It means the patient was previously okay, now he is getting the infection at the same time. So when you are getting these 2 infections same time, we call it a co-infection. Co together. You get it? Yes. Now let's look at another patient who is now sitting here. Now this patient had a previous history of a hepatitis B virus infection. Now the patient is a carrier. You can see the patient is carrying the surface antigen. The patient has hepatitis B virus surface antigen for more than 6 months. So he is carrying the antigens. Now this patient who is a carrier gets this infection now of hepatitis D virus. So what do you call that? We call it a super infection. So remember, super strong means if it is a super infection, it is super strong and the patient has more chance of fulminant hepatitis. Did you get it? These 2 pictures? My son is laughing at me as I am trying to draw this picture. Okay, I told him not to disturb me. So here it goes again. So co-infection and super infection. Super infection is a superhero because you are getting the hepatitis D virus infection on a